Yo, what is going on, guys? Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on the Flash. And for today's video, I'll be explaining the original timeline Flash and the original timeline in general. So I'll be going over various things such as how the original timeline plays out from what we know of it. I'll be explaining the original timeline Flash, but also I'll be talking about some connections which we have seen from the show's timeline compared to the original timeline. But yeah, the original timeline Flash is a very interesting and mysterious character. Probably he was like the most anticipated character since the day he showed up during season 1. Everyone wanted to see this character just due to how popular he has become. So many people just want to know more about this character, and they just want to see him team up with our version of the Flash as well. Now, probably one of the main reasons why I wanted to do this video, despite it just being an interesting topic to cover, not many people may know this, but he is actually a totally different version of the Flash than the one we have seen. They are both Barry Allen, and obviously they're both the Flash, and they may have similar origin stories. However, they are very different from each other as well. So yeah, I'll be comparing the two timelines and you guys can decide which one is better. But before I go over anything, however, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Arrowverse content coming your way. So as we know, the way Barry Allen got his powers was through the particle accelerator explosion, in which he ended up getting struck by lightning along with the chemicals in his lab spilling all over him, and yeah, he ended up getting his powers after waking up from a 9-month coma. Now, during the original timeline, Barry Allen also got struck by lightning during a particle accelerator explosion. That doesn't change, but he got struck by lightning in the year of 2020. Now, whether he also became the Flash during the year 2020 or he became the Flash during 2021, we don't know. For the sake of this video, I will say 2020 because he's been on a coma for 9 months, so it won't be a year. So I would say he still becomes the Flash in the year of 2020 as well. And the thing with this was by the doings of the original Harrison Wells along with Tess Morgan. The only difference is the particle accelerator was not exploded on purpose, but it was an actual accident. Whereas for us, this is slightly different. First things first, our Barry Allen got struck by lightning in the year of 2013 and became the Flash in the year of 2014. And the difference over here is that this particle accelerator was launched by Bart, or Bart disguised as Harrison Wells, not the original timeline Wells. And from our timeline at this point in the year of 2013, the original Harrison Wells and Tess Morgan are dead, and Bart launched the particle accelerator knowing that it would explode. So unlike the original timeline Wells, which was from an accident when he launched the particle accelerator, Bart obviously did it on purpose. Now, the reason for this timeline change is simple. It was due to Bart's desperation to go back home. After the murder of Nora Allen, Bart's connection to the negative speed force was obviously disturbed, and he could no longer gain enough speed to go back home, and he was stranded in the year of 2000 for 15 years. However, the only way he could go home was through creating the Flash. However, the only issue with this was the Flash gets his speed in the year of 2020 from this timeline, and Bart is not going to wait that long. And since Bart is from the future, he would know exactly how these events play out. The only difference is he would have to make them play out a lot earlier. So he realized that if he could create the Flash earlier than before, well, he can go home earlier. And this then leads to Bart murdering Harrison Wells as well as Tess Morgan, and Bart obviously swaps bodies with Harrison Wells, so now he is the one who becomes Harrison Wells. And he's able to build Star Labs a lot earlier, and he exploded the particle accelerator on purpose, knowing Barry Allen would get struck by lightning during the year of 2013. Now, for the original timeline Flash, we don't know how exactly he operates in terms of him having his own Team Flash. Obviously, it would be possible that he ends up meeting our version of the characters. The only difference would be that Bart would actually be replaced with the original Harrison Wells, and different events would take place. Or it could be that the original timeline Flash operates solo and uses Gideon for help. I would say that's the most likeliest option, saying that Eobard was able to get his hands of Gideon before he changed the timeline by killing Nora Allen. So in terms of how the original timeline Flash operates, just based on Thawne having Gideon, I would say that he operates solo and operates through using Gideon as his basically eyes and ears and how to basically solve all his problems. Whereas our Barry, he obviously has been mentored by many speedsters, whether it's Welzabard, fake Jay Garrick, or Zoom, and even the real Jay Garrick. But also, he has Team Flash with him in order to guide him through comms and pretty much become his eyes and ears while he's out there on the field. Obviously, our Barry does struggle with defeating villains alone and cannot last more than 5 seconds without some sort of pep talk to basically motivate him. I doubt that is the same for the original timeline Flash, but who knows. Now, not many people may actually know this, but another difference from the original timeline compared to the timeline we saw on the show is that Nora Allen and Henry Allen are actually alive. They are not dead. Obviously, Nora Allen was supposed to live in the original timeline. The reason why she ended up being killed was because Eobard went back in time and he killed her, and that obviously ended up changing the timeline so that Nora Allen always ends up becoming killed. So Nora Allen in the original timeline was meant to be alive, but due to Eobard changing the timeline by killing her, she is now dead. Now, one thing we do know for a fact is that our Barry is more experienced than the original timeline Flash. The original timeline Flash becomes the Flash in the year of 2020, and he vanishes in Crisis during the 25th of April 2024. So he has only become the Flash for 4 years, depending on whether or not he ends up waking up from his coma a lot later or earlier than before, and also whether he returns after he vanishes during Crisis. We do not know about that as well. But our Barry became the Flash in the year of 2014, and he was supposed to vanish during the 25th of April as well. But due to the timeline changes during the events of the season 5 finale, Barry was now to vanish during the 10th of December 2019. However, he ended up surviving, and as of now, our Barry is 7 years into his career as the Flash. So our Barry has become the Flash for 7 years, whereas the original timeline Flash has been the Flash for 4 years from what we know of. Now, we do have other differences such as Crisis of 2024 and the Crisis on Infinite Earths we saw during the crossover during season 6. For those who don't know how the Flash was supposed to vanish, I will read over the article because it is pretty interesting as well, and of course, like, why not? After an extreme battle with the Reverse Flash, our city's very own Scarlet Speedster disappears in an explosion of light. The cause of the fight is currently unknown. According to witnesses, the Flash, with the help of Starling City's Green Arrow, the Atom, and Hawkgirl, began fighting the Reverse Flash around midnight last night. The sky took on a deep crimson color, as the ensuing battle created the most destruction the city has seen since the Flash first arrived in Central City. Several trucks were caught up in the fray, spilling their contents into the street. Power outages swept nearly 20 city blocks. Between 16th Street and Adams Avenue, 5 of those blocks still remain without power. All of the buildings in the area were evacuated by CCPD with the help of the Atom. According to reports, as the Flash and Reverse Flash battled with each other between 2 overturned tanker trucks, the lightning emanating from the speedsters threatened to ignite spilled oil leaking from one of the trucks. The smoke from the truck's engine made it difficult to see, but it appeared at one point they were having a very heated conversation before continuing the fight. Then suddenly, the Flash sped after the Reverse Flash, and the two vanished, leaving the Atom, Green Arrow, and Hawkgirl behind. An eyewitness who watched the battle from her apartment building before being evacuated said it was hard to see, but the Flash and Reverse Flash were zipping up and down M Avenue. And then there was a whole bunch of lightning, and then nothing. It was weird. So over here, when the article mentions that the Flash chased after the Reverse Flash, I would guess this is when they travel back in time and the whole event of Nora Allen's murder takes place. That's what I'm guessing. I could obviously be wrong about that. Now obviously there is more from this article, however I have already read the main points, so there's no point in continuing on with this article. But lastly, there were also some slight teases to the original Timeline Flash which we have seen on the show, such as the return of the original Harrison Wells during The Flash Season 7, and him helping Barry and Team Flash revive the Speed Force in the year of 2020, which was a nod or a teaser to the original Timeline Flash becoming the Flash in the year of 2020 through the particle accelerator explosion done by the original Harrison Wells. So if you want to say it, the original Harrison Wells creating or recreating the Flash. But yeah guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Be sure to tell me in the comment section down below which of the timelines do you guys prefer. Do you guys prefer the timeline we have seen on the show or the original Timeline Flash's timeline? I'm interested to see your thoughts towards all of this. And also be sure to tell me if I have missed anything. I'm pretty sure I haven't, but just in case, be sure to tell me in the comment section down below if I have. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.